I'm going to discuss something very interesting that I found in my email when it was time to renew my keys with the Disneyland Resort and what I actually think it means. I also caught Josh Damaro in an objective lie during the latest shareholder meeting, and that will be discussed in this video as well.
Here we go.
This is the email I referenced at the beginning of my video. It says, Magic Key Holder, can you believe it's been a whole year already? Thank you for being a Magic Key Holder. Your annual pass is set to expire on September 8, 2026. If you renew, you'll enjoy up to a $100 Disney dining card to use on food and drinks in the park.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
Now, why is this strange, you may ask? Well, it's strange because the Walt Disney Company has not offered any sort of incentive to its key holders or pass holders to renew in at least the last decade. It's probably further than that. And I have a little theory on why they've suddenly decided to start offering incentives again. Here are the 4 keys you can buy at the Disneyland Resort. You have the Inspire key, you have the Believe key, you have the Explore key, and you have the Imagine key. As you can see, all 4 of these keys are currently available for purchase. And what's even more staggering is these keys have been available for purchase for over 2 years straight. Ever since the Disneyland Resort renamed their passes keys, Bob Iger has made every attempt to price those key holders out, and it appears he may have finally succeeded. Over the last couple of years, as I previously stated, these keys have all been available, while in the past, it was very difficult to buy a key. There was a very short window at the beginning of every year, and actually I remember one year, it was either 2004 or 2005, where they did not make any passes available at all. If you were not already a pass holder, you could not purchase a pass for that entire year. And here's how far we have fallen. We are now getting every key is available all year round, and Josh Damaro is throwing gift cards at current key holders, trying to incentivize them to renew their keys.
But wait! There's more!
Now, of course, the Disneyland Resort has also raised ticket prices, raised prices on their merchandise, and most recently, raised their prices on food. The following article is from the Disneyland Tourist blog. It was written on July 14th, 2026, and the author is Tom Brooker. It's entitled, Hundreds of Menu Price Increases Hit Disneyland. Before I get into that, I kind of want to scroll down here. This third paragraph kind of ties into what I was just discussing. And it starts out, speaking of which, our expectation is that prices will go up around October 7th, 2026 on park tickets, lightning lanes, magic keys, and more. I'm not really sure what the more is, maybe merchandise. The last 2 increases happened on October 8th, 2025 and October 9th, 2024, so that date would be consistent with those. That is completely 100% accurate. Let's continue to scroll down. Here's a rundown of common items that have increased in price and by how much. Popcorn increased from $6.50 to $7. Dole Whip increased from $7.29 to $7.49. Freshly brewed Joffrey's coffee increased from $4.79 to $5.49. Mickey's beignets from Mint Julep Bar increased from $6.49 to $7.49. The pepperoni pizza slice from Alien Pizza Planet increased from $8.99 to $9.99. Dasani bottled water increased from $4.79 to $5.49. Bottled sodas increased from $5.19 to $5.49. Ronto Roasters Black Calf increased from $4.79 to $5.49. Chicken tenders increased from $13.49 to $13.99. The Cuties Mandarin Oranges increased from $1.99 to $2.49. The Cuties 3-pack increased from $5.49 to $5.99, so that's still the better deal. Hungry Bear Corn Ribs increased from $14.99 to $15.79. Is that a vegan item? The Bengal Barbecue Beef Skewer, which is a very popular item, increased from $7.49 to $7.99. And Awards Wieners Asada Fries increased from $12.99 to $13.49. Just on a side note, for those Asada fries, I recently heard that Disney is getting away from the film strip fries Actually, they are basically just consolidating and they're going to buy all their fries from one place. And that's going to be it in the park. You're not going to get these variants anymore. No matter where you go for French fries, it's going to be the same type of French fries. That makes me very sad that they didn't go with the film strip fries because I love those. All right, scrolling down even more here. This is the part that I really wanted to get to. By their math, the average price increase across all menus at Disneyland is 8.1%. This is above the nationwide rate of inflation on food. According to the USDA, food prices were 3.1% higher year over year from last May to May 2026. Latest data. The food at home, grocery store, our supermarket food purchases, CPI increased 2.7%. Food away from home, those are restaurant purchases, CPI was 3.5% higher year over year. So compare that. That's the most applicable one. 3.5% to 8.1%. That's over double. That's like 2.5 times the normal rate. That is just ridiculous. Throughout the year, overall food prices are anticipated to rise slightly faster than the historical average rate of growth. In 2026, prices for all food are predicted to increase 3.2%. More relevant for our purpose is food away from home prices, which are forecasted to increase 3.6%. That's still double. That is just crazy. Okay, as someone who doesn't purchase any novelties or souvenir sippers, standard theme park fare, or prepackaged items, I was mostly breathing a sigh of relief over the changes. Even with 900 plus price increases, very few items that we ordered were impacted. This may seem like a small miracle, but our favorites were hit pretty hard last year, so this is not completely unexpected. Okay, well, I'm wondering what didn't get hit. Then I got the menu for GCH Craftsman Grill, which is in the Grand Californian Hotel, the restaurant at Disneyland where I can eat more than anywhere else. Then I got the menu for GCH Craftsman Grill, the restaurant at Disneyland where I can eat more than anywhere else. Actually, that's in the Grand Californian Hotel. Most entrees increased by $1 to $2 here, and it's not as if they were cheap in the first place. That is totally true. I do like eating at GCH Craftsman Grill, but it is a little expensive to eat there. Of course, it's an amusement park and it's restaurants that are at amusement parks or the hotels connected to those amusement parks. So, gee, I guess I shouldn't be surprised by this. It's a similar story over at Tangaroa Terrace. At both of these counter service restaurants, most menu items are $25 or higher for lunch and dinner, and pushing $20 for breakfast. These were once our favorite secret spots for table service caliber cuisine at counter service prices, but that's less true with each passing year. And here's where the rubber meets the road when it comes to food prices in the parks. The majority of goers to the Disneyland Resort are their key holders. And as a key holder, I only spend about $47.50 per visit. That is how much it costs to get me through the gate. $1,900 is basically the price of my Inspire key. At least that's what I paid last year for it. And I go about 40 times a year. You divide that out and you get $47.50. If I don't spend anything else in the park, let's just say I ride rides all day, Disney is only getting $47.50 for my entire visit. That is not going to run the parks. You need the key holders to spend money on merchandise. They need to buy food. They need to buy those bottled drinks, all of that. But if you raise the key holder prices and then raise the food prices, you're going to start pricing people out. And that's what's going on here. And I'm going to show you a little bit more proof of that. Here are the available reservations for restaurants within the Disneyland Resort. You see Cafe Orleans, which is in Disneyland. Same with Carnation Cafe. Carnation Cafe has a rather long list of reservations available today. Carthay Circle Lounge has a good amount. Uh, this is one of my favorite places to eat and drink. It's a little bit more expensive, and probably one of the first places key holders are going to start avoiding because they're just going to get priced out. However, I'm a little bit more affluent than most people, so I can afford to eat here on occasion. Centrico's in downtown Disney. That's the outdoor dining. GCH Craftsman Bar is in the Grand Californian Hotel. Lots of reservations there. Usually you can walk up any day of the week and get into the Craftsman Bar. It's not that difficult to do. Goofy's Kitchen is in the Disneyland Hotel. They have a couple of reservations for breakfast and probably more in the evening. Great Maple is in the Pixar Hotel in downtown Disney. Yeah, lots of reservations there. Hearthstone is in the Grand Californian. Same thing, plenty of reservations. Napa Rose, not going to check the availability. That's in the Grand Californian Hotel, and that is the highest end I think we have in the park. Palm Breeze, another one in the Disneyland Resort, plenty of reservations. Paseo is the Michelin star, I think it's Michelin star Mexican restaurant in downtown Disney, plenty of reservations there. River Bell, which is in Disneyland, plenty of reservations there. Wine Country Tuturia, which is in Disney California Adventure, has plenty of reservations as well. Unavailable locations, the Blue Bayou restaurant is one of the first ones to have all their reservations taken. It's very popular. I'm not exactly sure why. I think it's kind of mid and you're way overpaying even for an amusement park restaurant. Carthay Circle, kind of surprised here, although they have gone back to strictly evening. They cut their lunch dining, so it's only evening, so there's a lot less reservations available. Jazz Kitchens in downtown Disney, still pretty popular, even though they completely uglified the restaurant. Lamplight Lounge and Lamplight Lounge Boardwalk Dining, again, a very popular thing. One of the first locations to have their reservations taken when they come available. Here's the one that kind of confuses me, Magic Key Terrace. Right now, there's only one key that can get into the parks, I believe, and that's the Inspire key. And I'm not sure if it's sold out or if Magic Key Terrace is just closed because there isn't enough business. I know during a couple of weeks in Christmas time, they have to shut down Magic Key Terrace because none of the keys are allowed in the parks. Naples is in downtown Disney. Plaza Inn, this is another one that has a short amount of reservations because it's only for the character breakfast in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening. You can just walk up. It's all on standby. Splitsville, I have no idea how this place stays in business. Storyteller, another very popular place for character breakfasts and I believe even character dinners. It's mostly buffet style. And the reservations go rather quickly. A couple of things that aren't on here. First off is Trader Sam's. That is the interactive bar at the Disneyland Hotel. I believe the reason why they took it off reservations is because reservations were going so fast for the interactive bar and people were stuck drinking and eating outside. So they basically turned it into first come, first serve, or you can wait for a reservation or a table or a bar service to be available inside the interactive bar. And the other one is Olga's Cantina, which of course is in Galaxy's Edge. And the reason they stopped taking reservations for that one is because hardly anyone's going there. You can basically walk up within 10 to 15 minutes, you'll get a seat now. It used to be a lot more popular, but I think people have gotten tired of overpaying for watered down drinks that aren't even made by bartenders. They're basically mixed in the back and then they're put into a vat and you're just pumped out your portion. So I think everyone's kind of caught on and that's why they've stopped doing reservations for Ogas. Now, you may say that it's not a big deal to have some reservations available the day you're visiting the park. However, if you go back a few years, there were practically no reservations available the day of visiting a park. If you didn't have a reservation for a restaurant, you were basically eating fast food. And I've spoken to several of these servers at various restaurants on the Disneyland Resort in recent years, and they've even noticed that there has been a downturn in the amount of customers visiting their restaurants. The last thing I'm going to talk about is, and I'm going to try to be kind here, the exaggeration that Josh D'Amaro made during the latest shareholders call.
You a rotten liar.
He basically stated that the Mandalorian and Grogu boosted foot traffic for Millennium Falcon's Smuggler's Run, and I'm here to show you that it actually has not. This is Exhibit A of my rebuttal to Josh D'Amaro's claim. These are the live wait times for Disneyland today. As you can see, Big Thunder Mountain has a 20-minute wait. Haunted Mansion is currently closed for the refurbishment for Haunted Mansion Holiday. However, if I had to guess, the wait time would probably be around 25 minutes today. Indiana Jones is 40 minutes. Matterhorn Bobsleds is 40 minutes. Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway is 15 minutes. And then we get to Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run. A 10-minute wait time. That is basically a walk-on for this ride because it probably takes you almost 10 minutes to walk through the queue to get to the actual ride. Scrolling down further, Peter Pan's Flight is 20 minutes. Pirates of the Caribbean is 15 minutes. Roger Rabbit's Cartoon Spin is 40 minutes. Space Mountain is 30 minutes. Star Wars Rise of the Resistance is 35 minutes. And Tiana's Bayou Adventure is 40 minutes. Now, you may be saying data from one random Sunday isn't proof of anything, and to that I will say here is Exhibit B. This is from Disney's own website. These are the top attractions for Disneyland: Tiana's Bayou Adventure, Star Wars Rise of the Resistance, Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, and Big Thunder Mountain. What is missing here? That's right, Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run. Now, perhaps initially there was a slight bump in foot traffic for the Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run when The Mandalorian and Grogu released in theaters. However, that bump has quickly dissipated, much like the foot traffic that was received when they originally released the OG characters in Galaxy's Edge. There was a bump for about a week or two, and then that bump quickly dissipated. With that, I'm going to wrap up this video. So if you've not subscribed to my channel, I'd appreciate it if you could hit that subscribe button. If you liked the video, please click the like button. Share this out through social media. And like my father told me when I was 18 years old, the free video's over. Get out.